the 18th century, Williamsburg was a hotbed of insurrectionary ferment against British rule. Now, the growth of the Tea Party movement is sparking renewed interest in the reenactments of Revolutionary-era history staged here for tourists. Since the reenactors encourage everyone to join in, I thought I'd get back to my British roots to find out what it's all about.
Decisive action is now required that we might demonstrate our determination to defend our rights as free-born Englishmen.
The Colonial Williamsburg Foundation, which stages this street theatre called the Revolutionary City for 1.5 million visitors a year, says it's not just a history lesson.
Many of the scenes in the Revolutionary City are picked because they bring to life situations that are very close or have connections to our lives today. A British general, Henry Hamilton, was captured and brought to Williamsburg, and rumors flew all over the place that he was buying scalps, patriot scalps from the Indians in the western, in the Ohio country. He was held incommunicado for over 18 months in the jail here. Never charged with a crime, never charged with a war crime or anything else. Does that sound familiar?
Did they waterboard him?
No.
But it's not just the war on terror that resonates here. After all, the agitation in the colonies began over taxes. And in one scene, a reference to protest against the tea tax in Massachusetts, now famous as the Boston Tea Party, draws cheers from the crowd.
It's very important for us to understand how our country was founded and why it was founded and why we're the way we are. And just hearing the comments about the Tea Party kind of reveled up the crowd around us, not only the reenactors, but that's become kind of an issue in American politics today. I think it's a whole issue of taxes and feeling overtaxed. I'm not a backer of a Tea Party, of the American Tea Party movement, but I know that every person has a voice in our country because of what went on during the Revolution, and everybody has a right to feel that they have a part in the government.
Nowadays, there's pretty much universal agreement, at least in America, that independence from Britain was a good idea. But in its time, independence was as controversial a concept as healthcare reform. One of the keys to the colonists' victory was they didn't seem to mind being divided.
It's been divided now for 12 years since we first made our first protests against the hated Stamp Act known publicly. There is still half the countryside who cannot shed that loyalty they have to the British Crown. We are very much divided, and I'm confident that we as a people will ever continue to be so.
Anyone who would fight for the cause of America, join us at the Market Square.
The American Revolution was a bold political experiment in self-government, and all the evidence seems to suggest that the experiment is still going on. This is Shaun Waterman for the Washington Times in Colonial Williamsburg.